Bitcoin accumulation country. It's that time of the week. My name is Phil. This is the Fun with Bitcoin podcast. We are in season 3 and this is episode 24. So I hope everybody's having a great week. This is a really special episode for me. I got to sit down with Hodlonaut and Katoshi. We talked about everything Citadel21. And for those of you who don't know what Citadel21 is, it is I would say a kind of like cypherpunk-inspired Bitcoin online zine. And here actually is a little excerpt from their website on the About page. It's a Bitcoin cultural zine. Bitcoin culture is rich and varied. It contains a multitude of voices, opinions, and flavors. Together they form what is seemingly chaos, but with an abundance of signal. Citadel21 aims to curate this chaos and put some of the best, coolest, and weirdest pieces of raw signals on display. It was a really great talk, and I'm super excited to bring this to you. But before we get into that, we are first going to talk about my sponsor, Swan Bitcoin and dollar cost averaging. For anybody who is interested in dollar cost averaging and who wants to be purchasing Bitcoin but doesn't want to be spending their time constantly watching the charts and listening to traders that they really have no idea whether these people are credible or not, and you kind of just want to put this in a passive sleep mode where you're simply just accumulating and hodling, being able to transfer that Bitcoin out to your own private address. So if you're interested in doing that and that falls in your wheelhouse, then you are looking for Swan Bitcoin. With Swan Bitcoin, the three main takeaways are we can do automatic withdrawal from a bank account, automatic purchases of BTC. You can time them based on your when you receive your check. You can do it let's say once you can do it once a month, or you can do it per pay period as well. There's lots of options for you to be able to customize how you purchase. And you could automatically withdraw to your chosen address. So if you're interested in a Bitcoin-only platform that is doing the great work of helping onboard people, then you definitely want to check out Swan Bitcoin. I'm going to have the link to their website in the show notes. Moving on from the dollar cost averaging, it's time to sit back, time to chill, and listen to Hodlonaut, Katoshi, and myself have a little chat about Citadel21. Joining me today, two people that I really look up to in the Bitcoin space, and they've humbled me by allowing me to interview them about their latest venture. I'm talking about Citadel21.com, and joining me is Hodlonaut and Bitcoin Katya. Thank you both very much for joining me today.
Hey Phil, thanks for having us.
Yeah, hey Phil, and thank you very much. I think this is really cool because it's our first podcast as Citadel21, so we're kind of celebrating it here.
That's awesome.
That's very cool.
I'm super excited. I know that you guys have 2 volumes out now, and I got to tell you, the presentation and even the introduction video on the website showing that the cover being made. And who is it that makes that cover?
It's Martin, Cypherpunk Now from Prague. It's our friend. I know Martin from quite a long time ago, and it's basically just happened that he came up with the cover idea for Volume 2. And then he basically started to help us a lot on some other things that need to be done for Citadel. So basically, it was like his great idea, not only about the design, but also about what he did in that video, like with burning the covers.
Yeah, I was trying to understand that. Like, I noticed at the end, I'm like, wait a second. I'm like, they're all going away.
Just I love that video, and I love. Martin was the perfect guy to make a cover for Citadel21, and really thankful to him for helping us with that. And him and us will probably cooperate in the future as well. I don't know. We can mention that, right?
Yeah, I guess totally we should mention that Martin actually works on physical copies together with us.
Yeah.
And he has, I mean, we think he's a really great artist, and he has such a great experience in all things like design wise. And he is working with Parallel Polis in Prague, and he's actually one of the co-founders. And he did a lot of design stuff for them, and also for other projects. And he has his own like web shop and his own small gallery in Prague.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he has experience.
I was a fan of his art for a long time. I have his art on my wall here where we live, and so perfect for us. And also we have to give a shout out to Bitkoinovsky, who made the
first
cover
one
for the first
very
one.
First one, yeah.
Also just an awesome cover, and he's also helped us quite a lot behind the scenes with the just technical stuff around the images and stuff like this.
Yeah, and for example, even for the volume 2 and volume 3, I think the guys are cooperating.
Yeah, just to get like the professional look on the logo on the cover and stuff like this.
Yeah. I absolutely love the direction, the way that it looks. I feel like that second cover looks kind of like Monty Python-ish, which is like pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much character and so much personality in there, and it's so real. And this just basically fell out of Martin's head as a result of him taking on this thing. I think he mentioned to us that he was really inspired by doing this.
Yeah, I think what actually unites us all together and people who contributed, that we are like all pretty underground players. Yeah, so basically like what we did, and then Martin totally felt the idea. And but I think what is probably important to mention, that I think that every cover is very unique. And for example, what Bitco did, it was just like mind-blowing for us. And then we had this second cover, and it was again mind-blowing. But wait till the third cover.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little teaser, but we are like just super excited because...
And even the fourth cover is already like, we know what's coming there too. So the next two covers are going to be so awesome too. And just, we're so happy to be able to participate in something that can showcase the talent that's in this Bitcoin space.
You have to make prints. I definitely want. I'd love to be able to collect every single cover without having to be an author of an article in it. So,
yeah, I agree. So somehow we have to make this available for people down the road.
Because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. The symbolism is awesome. I love the name, like Citadel21, obviously, and we're going to get into that a bit. But before we kind of dive into the why you guys went with these names and this style, I want to know, why did you go the route of the online publication? Right? Because there's like so much, there's so much video and everything like that. It's like, why did you guys choose? I find like this is like a very traditional online, type of means of communication, and you guys made it look like it's how could I explain it? It's just like, it's like no frills. You know what I mean? It's like, look, this is the information, this is the style, and it's like it gets right to the point, and I love that. So why'd you guys go with this?
Yeah, I mean, I think I guess that was part of the vibe we were always going with, that this was supposed to be very real, no bullshit, real, underground. And I mean, Katja is very good with the design, and how it looks, I would put down to her for the most part. I mean, I think what you want to add, Katja?
I think that, like, why it's a zine, maybe it's because like we both grew like with it, like we had a lot of zines that we bought or collected or received. And like, for example, for Hodlonaut, they were like on one topic. For me, it was like completely different, but we still remember from childhood and teenage years like how cool it was to wait for a zine like every month, or to receive some, I don't know, like super small zine from, I don't know, like some super small community.
Yeah.
And then you basically like have it and then you store it. And I think for us it was important to make something different, but also something very familiar, but also something that goes like deep into your heart and soul.
Yeah.
Basically, that's that feeling of collecting.
Yeah, the feeling of like collecting a lot of the vibe coming out of the space you're into. Like my first scene experience was scenes for the Amiga, the computer.
Oh yeah.
Early 90s, I guess, which was just magical. I got them on floppy disks, like the new scene, and I just read everything in there, and it felt like connecting to the vibe that was in the Amiga space back then. And also football scenes was a thing back in the day where I lived. And Katja had her experience, as she said, with other, was it music scenes?
Yeah, it was music.
Scenes?
Yeah, it was like basically punk music stuff. And then later it was some anarchist prints.
Cool.
So I guess, yeah, we both preserved this love for zines like forever with us.
Oh, go ahead.
No, so I was just wanted to say that basically when we were thinking about this idea, like there was no other options basically than zine, because that's what we thought about, like only.
And there was obviously a huge vacuum in the space about the type of information that was available outside of Twitter. I mean, on Twitter we saw all this kind of genius, brilliant small ideas and thoughts or memes that kind of never got attention outside of the 5 likes or whatever it got on Twitter. And at the same time, you can like go to CoinDesk or another publication and read like article after article after article of basically bullshit and influencer LARPing that doesn't give you anything. So there was obviously a huge, basically demand, I would think, in the space for something like this.
Yeah, for sure. And probably like also speaking about demand, I think like basically we're doing it not only for the people who are already in the space and like our friends and may I call it community, but also for people who only begin to become curious about Bitcoin. So like our goal was to make it for them more comfortable and basically let them understand that this is not about like assets, money, or like for the newcomers, it's a lot about like trading and stuff. So we wanted basically to show that there is a lot more behind all the things, and that here you can just meet the culture of Bitcoin space and basically get to know it, and if they like it, like stay with us forever.
Oh, I absolutely agree. I mean, it's it very much it reminds me a lot of I mean, like you, I was a punk growing up, especially in the like in the 90s. So there was a lot of subculture magazines, and that that was pretty much all I had. And then eventually I got introduced to computers and found this this quarterly magazine that came out every 3 months called the 2600, and it was essentially it was a magazine from like all these kind of like different hackers and stuff like that would post some of their hacks or some of their ideas, different things that they figured out. And back then there was still a lot of like phone hacking and stuff like that, or freaking, so to speak. So
yeah.
It was like back in the day. So anyways, this when you guys came out with this, my whole point is when you came out with this, it immediately, like Katja said, like it touched my heart because it resonated with me. It's very nostalgic of like wonderful things, So immediately I was like, oh my God, are they going to make a print of this? So,
I think
because some of us would even want to buy the prints, like not just the covers, but the whole magazine.
Yeah, I think we like when we first time even discussed the idea, we were thinking about the format, like what it should be. And we discussed about it, that it could be like different things. And then we were thinking, of course, about the physical copies, that it would be cool. But then in the end, when we came up with a format of basically digital zine. Then we just decided that probably it will be more difficult to make print versions when you have like so many articles and stuff.
Yeah, we have audio content and video content. So the physical magazine, the way we have chosen to go with it, will end up being, I don't know, a very different experience than the online version, but and maybe even more of a collectible kind of thing. But it will definitely feature, I think, the vibe of our project completely.
Yeah, basically like the physical copy will be very well connected with the digital version. So it, like, I would say that how we make it is a piece of art. And here is also a big part of Martin's experience, because he created really cool, I would say, like a zine, or like a combination of a zine and a poster for Parallel Polis. So like we basically have a concept that you can play with as a user or like as a reader, but also like anytime you want, you can just basically go from the physical copy to the digital copy. Like basically, I'm making a small teaser here, but we will use like I think we can tell it that we will use the QR codes.
Sick.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be a cool physical copy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I definitely think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how exactly? How does it work? Like, can anyone submit an article? Like, what's your criteria?
Yeah, and that's very key and core to the whole thing. Like anyone, absolutely anyone, and we try to make that clear. Like, you do not need to have X amount of followers, or you can be anyone. Just you will be judged on merit of what you write, regardless. And most of the people we have published, as far as I know, have never had anything published before. I think it's just people from Twitter who had something on their minds, and the result is often that exactly since they don't have any previous writing experience, they're not corrupted by all these kinds of norms and ways of doing things. And we welcome like any kind of format, any way of writing things, any length. It can be long form, it can be really short, it can be mainly based on images. It can, like this CryptoBus article we got from IC Offender, that was just an image. It was like this mock newspaper front page. So we're completely open to anything and everything that comes our way, and that's part of what we love the most, to give a bigger voice to people who have something to say that haven't been read by or appreciated by many people so far.
Yeah, and we, for example, specifically, we don't do like super editing or proofreading of articles, because we want to, as Hodlonaut said, to keep that personal touch.
Yeah, I mean, I do quite a lot of. It depends on the article. I mean, some articles. I mean, like we have had articles from Venezuela, from Ukrainian, and some like there is some editing obviously involved to make them flow a bit. But some articles, like for example, Swede Toshi had this huge rant, which was basically just copy pasted from Telegram, and I think that rant is full of typos and basically weird sentences, but that was the whole point, to like get across his rant in the moment about how he had created these stickers.
Yeah, the only thing to add, that probably the article should be related to Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Because I think we received some submissions that basically were not about Bitcoin.
Yeah.
So. And
we also don't want to like publish articles which are made to beef with someone, or that will just further some conflict in the space. We try to keep it positive for the most part, but definitely toxic.
Cool. So no cooking recipes. All right. You know, we can't submit recipes.
Actually, it depends.
If you have some Bitcoin recipes,
maybe you have a
Bitcoin munching,
super carnivore recipe. Maybe even
there we go.
Menu.
Taco recipes.
Right?
Taco recipe. I think that can go.
As long as it can somehow be connected to Bitcoin culture, it's
that works.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, cool. Okay, so you know what? You mentioned something before about how like you have some audio and some video. So I guess you know, you guys are going with the publication now, the online publication. But do you have any plans to, let's say, do a like a weekly or a monthly YouTube, or start like its own kind of like, you know, Citadel21.com kind of like a live cast or something like that?
We don't have any plans yet, but just, I mean, hearing you mention it, who knows? Who knows what will happen? Because isn't that what's happened so far, Katja? That we just have been flowing with this and things have happened organically and probably will continue to?
I would say yes, that like basically we go with the flow, but also one step at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we still have a lot of work to do, like the website-wise, like management and maintaining and make it basically more visible. But again, who knows?
Who knows?
I just
maybe we'll find a super concept of YouTube.
Yeah. And I think like it's worth mentioning also, like if at some time this will become much bigger than it is now for some reason. I mean, maybe it's possible to somehow have this as a job. I don't know. If that were to happen, then suddenly a lot of more options would open up, and we would be able to put even more time into it.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Why did you guys go with Citadel21? Because, I mean, obviously, you know, I know like Bitcoin Citadels, but like, you know, what made you think like this was going to be this is going to be the name?
Good question.
Yeah, good question, because I don't like remember specifically.
We had quite a lot of names on the table, didn't we?
Yeah, we had.
Do you remember any one of those?
Yeah, what are some of the names you didn't choose?
I think stuff like Katja will check her phone, maybe she will find them. I think I remember was Hodlonaut one of them.
Yeah, something like
I think it was never close to being
like that.
We had a list of candidates, but the moment I think it was you, Katja, that came up with Citadel21. I was pretty sure that was the name as soon as I saw it, at least. I think it was a really cool name.
Yeah, we actually even made this like Basecamp account to collaborate as a team and to preserve like the history of all the changes.
My mailbox
and
was
ideas.
spammed by all these tasks Katja had given me in Basecamp.
Oh, the memories, you know, but it's okay.
The memories,
right? You're going to look back on it and be like, oh my God, look at what we did.
Yeah, I'm actually scrolling through the Basecamp right now, but for me, it's like right now hard to concentrate.
Yeah, we had like four or five different suggestions before we landed on Citadel21 at least. But I think it's, you know, obviously 21 and the concept of a citadel, where the citadel as a concept, not to, you know, defend against something first and foremost, but also to like be united inside, like we are in this weird space together, and we're basically all inside the citadel of some sort.
Yeah,
I think Katja found
I
some
actually
names
found it, and like reading this right now is so funny. I think I can name a few names. Like we were thinking about 21hodl.zone or stack21.zone. Or for example, toxis21.com is like basically like a porn site.
Oh my God.
Porn site name, toxic21.com. Yeah, and then we were thinking like about
there are some cringe here actually.
Yeah, really cringe. Yeah, and then like the last one was why not Citadel21?
I love it. I think it's I absolutely think it's a great name. So you guys, like, you totally hit the nail on the head. I love the style. You know what I mean? And again, going back to the beginning of our conversation, right, with Bitco's work, that was just an absolute perfect, first cover page. And, for that, like, it totally amazing. I love his style. So it's totally cool.
Yeah, totally agree. Like, now forever, it's the part of the history.
Yep, that's right. And I actually, another shout out to him. He does my logos, right?
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to support fellow Bitcoiners.
Big shout out to Bitco.
Yeah,
he's great.
He is one of my favorite dudes in the space, and Bass too. I always give a shout out to Bass.
Yeah, shout out to Bass.
Even though he doesn't like the shout outs, he still gets them.
Oh, he likes them. He just won't admit it.
Oh, that's what it is, right? Okay, so let me ask you guys this, because, okay, so maybe I'm totally wrong in this, but for me, like, I see Citadel21 and I see your work as, like, very much, and I know some people cringe at the thought that there's a Bitcoin community. God forbid that people would come together and work. But I am a huge fan of community, and I think that community works. And I think that it is something that naturally happens. To me, it's something that, sure, we all came together for our incentives, right? Number go up, and the decentralization and censorship, whatever narratives brought us together. But the reality is that through these narratives, we now have these incentives, and through these incentives, a community develops. So my question to you guys is, what do you think is missing from the Bitcoin community today? Or I should say, what do you think we're maybe getting wrong?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I feel we're missing anything, to be honest.
I think
it's basically like you say, Phil, that Bitcoin community, to me, I use that word all the time, and I hear people getting a little bit triggered by the use of that word, and I understand where they are coming from too. But to me, it's mainly just a question of semantics. What is a community? No, it's then why don't we call it a dollar community and a bed community for all the people sleeping in beds? And like, I think that's just semantics and a little bit stupid, because we are apparently on the same page about a lot of things, us Bitcoiners. And I like to just speak for myself, and I totally feel connected to this space and this community that I call it. And obviously that doesn't mean I'm on the same page with everyone on all the topics, but and it's kind of even hard to define it. It's because it's organic, and I don't know. I never think that, oh, I wish we were more like this, and I wish we need more of this. I just think it's amazing to be part of it and see what's happening all the time and see how it evolves all the time. So personally, I think I'm just happy the way it is, to be honest.
Like, after you said bed community, I was thinking that I'm totally a member of that community.
Yeah,
I really love to sleep. But
bedtime maximalist.
Yeah, exactly. Like, today I went to bed already 2 times.
That's awesome.
Here's the proof.
I'm part of the swimming community now then.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you though, right? Like, I mean, to me, I don't think it needs to change, but it was just something that got me thinking, because I was like looking through the magazine, I was looking through people's articles and stuff, and we all have such, we all have such differing point of views, but, because Bitcoin has these Schelling points, it's like, it's not that we all, to your point, it's like, we're not necessarily all on the same page. We don't necessarily agree on every topic, and we don't need to agree on every topic to evolve and to be a community.
No, but we should definitely not agree on every topic.
But I feel that sometimes, like, people push that, that narrative. So it's like that, oh, well, because you're not agreeing, well, then you're not, there's no community. It's like that's not really how that works. But I think that I think the Citadel21 publication is going to be one of those uniters,
Yeah. Like, that's there was a vacuum there of some sorts. That's something that wasn't available, so that, or something that wasn't existing, that kind of wanted to exist or needed to exist, and then it suddenly started existing when we randomly got this idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I just think that, like, on one hand we have this Bitcoin Twitter where everyone is like not really disagreeing or agreeing, and that like don't really matter. But then on the other hand, we have Citadel21 publication where everyone finally can agree on one thing, and that Bitcoin is cool. And that's basically the place where everyone agrees. And this is like the celebration of this thought, and probably, like as you said, really the uniter of community, because here we don't argue, we just agree on that Bitcoin is cool, and we just push this thought outside, like, to the world.
So I'm sorry, I actually wanted to go back to people submitting articles. So I'm guessing that on the website there's a place there where you could submit your article, or do people just reach out to you on Twitter?
Yeah, there's basically just that. I think there is this line about we would like to have your submission, and please send it to us at hello@citadel21.com. So submissions are sent to us by email to hello@citadel21.com.
But it also works in Twitter. Like,
yeah,
people just enter.
Yeah, actually DM'd some as well. Yeah, whatever. Just send them to us.
Okay. Okay, cool. So tell me this. I guess, because I mean, like you were saying, it's going to grow organically, but I always have to pick your brains and ask you, like, where do you, because to me, like, when I start something, I start it with the intention of a goal. I don't really know what the path is going to be, but I have like a vision, right? So what do you guys, like, in 2 years from now, what is Citadel21 doing? And what do you guys, you know what I mean? Like, where are you guys?
We haven't talked about this, so I'll answer first for myself. And I'm kind of thinking that we really don't want to think too much about that, because that would potentially, like, make us focus on something too hard and then make us miss something cool that just happened, or something that organically happened. So yeah, I haven't put much thought into it. But before Katja speaks, we were talking about how we submit or how people submit articles and stuff. I have like volume 3 contributor sheet open here, and Coin Icarus is on it. Is that happening?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm working on it. This is an article I've been writing for, like, I kid you not, man, for like 4 months. I suck.
No pressure, brother. I mean, whenever it's finished, if it's finished, send it our way, and we'll.
What's the
have a look at it.
What's the cutoff? What's the cutoff date for it? I feel like it already passed.
For the June volume, I would say in a couple of days max. But we have so much content, so don't feel bad. We get so much good content, so the June volume will be amazing, with or without you.
Okay, cool. All right, very cool. I was thinking about that before our talk. I was like, damn it. It's like I went back to go look at my article, and I'm like, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Like, so let me ask you guys this. What do you think are some of the, I guess, like, what do you think are some of the difficulties of writing, for Citadel21? Because, like, I feel like it's like I can tell you that, like, it's like I want to craft the message so well, but, like, it's so difficult, So, like, do people even come to you with questions of, like, should I write this, or, do you want me to say this? Like, what kind of stuff do you get from the people writing? Like, do you get questions about what direction to go in and stuff?
Yeah, and like our answer is always we don't want to tell you, because we want you to decide. So we're not very helpful, but we totally don't want to tell people how or what to write.
We don't want to basically like, okay, we curate articles, but we don't to curate or censor your thoughts. So basically, whatever like you want to say and speak, just speak from your heart.
And the more original and weird, the better in most instances, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys have any, and I feel bad for putting you on the spot, but I'm going to do it. Do you have any favorite articles so far? I know there's only 2 volumes, but of what's published.
Yeah.
I know that the favorite article of Hodlonaut is my article.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh God. Oh man, you guys are tough.
It's really hard.
It's really hard, but I mean, I think that every article is so different and so cool. But like of course, we appreciate like everyone. But what I think is especially interesting is when we receive submissions from basically different countries. I think it's really interesting to read about how is the state of Bitcoin, for example, in Venezuela or in Iran, and like what people actually do with Bitcoin. And like, I mean, this is just interesting because like in every country it can be so different, and everyone has this different economical situation. So for example, for me, it's like usually like really interesting to read.
Yeah, I'm such a total fanboy for all the articles we have published. I'm scrolling through them now, and I'm just that's amazing, that's amazing.
Yeah,
because they in each their own way they are so fucking cool, I think.
Yeah, because it's so different. Like it can be a verse, it can be a poem, it can be just an image, or it can be just some like kind of scientific.
Yeah, and there's so much passion, so much passion. Like Crypto Cloaks, how he describes his 3D printing stuff. DJ Jay Skrilla with his Sound Money album. Cypherpunk now, Martin Fisher when he goes deep on how he designed the cover is also a great article. There's so much passion and so much realness. Like there is no fucking bullshit to be found here. And that's what I like.
Hey, speaking of bullshit, have you been approached by anybody to sponsor Citadel21?
Oh no.
Roger Ware and Bitcoin.com has been spamming us to advertise on Bitcoin.com.
Oh God! See, there you go. Right? Speak of the bullshit, and it comes out.
Yeah. I think it was some kind of probably automated message.
Yeah, probably, but she kept like following up every second day. So in the end, I had to reply and say that Bitcoin.com, we consider Bitcoin.com a total scam site. Don't send us any more emails. And then she stopped.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I mean, if the person went to the Citadel website and then basically read about it, then how it came up in the person's head that, I'm gonna send this guy's advertising price list.
But we haven't had to. I can't even think of.
Yeah, we didn't have like.
And maybe people are like, maybe the businesses they're kind of scared of us. They think like, better not poke Citadel21 or something. I don't know.
It's too organic and too grassroots.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a little bit alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually can't imagine also having an ad on our website.
You know what? You guys are making me think like, Citadel21 is like the it's the white blood cells of the Bitcoin publication world.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a cool way to, to look at it. Yeah.
I like it. So I mean, look, if I don't really have any more questions for you guys about Citadel21, but do you have any any final thoughts that you want to leave with the listeners?
Maybe we could tell a little bit about what we don't do.
Cool.
At the Citadel, because like we were planning to publish our policies somewhere on the website just to maybe like reduce in the future like the amount of bullshit we potentially can receive. But I mean,
very cool.
I think the main thing that we came up like after a lot of discussions is that that basically we don't do advertising, and we don't do affiliate marketing. Like, for example, if you recommend some product in the article, and that's fine, that's like your own opinion, and like, which we respect and support. But if this product costs money, we will not put an affiliate link, which basically will direct traffic. So we don't want to be like as a publication that recommends some like products. So yeah, I guess that's the main thing right now. And I think also worth to mention that otherwise we support art and content.
Yeah.
So we put links for artists, and if we will have some, for example, cool podcast, we will definitely like put a link.
Yeah.
Cool.
And probably we'll never have this huge detailed editorial policy. I think it's just like,
I mean,
if we get good shit, we will publish it. And yeah, it needs to be it needs to be real. That's the most important.
You know what? I did have one last question that I just thought of, was because I'm a huge sucker for swag. So like when are the Citadel21 t-shirts and hats and stickers? I'm a sucker for that stuff. For me personally, I love supporting different brands and stuff like that through that way, you know?
Yeah, I think we should do that at some point now. But as Katja said, we're trying to focus on the product first, and like making sure that we're doing what we really want to do good before we start branching off into different kinds of other cool things. But to offer some kind of merch, that seems like a no-brainer down the road.
Yeah, for sure. I think that the first thing we may start with is stickers.
Yeah.
So doing something small but cute, but still doing something in that direction. And yeah, I think we totally see like how Citadel can evolve in a bigger thing, and having like not only physical copies but also all other like promotional, if I can say so, things around. But yeah, currently we just have to like basically focus on one thing finally to finish it.
I love it, guys, and you know what? Seriously, this is why the Citadel21 publication is the way that it is. It's because you guys are, the way that you are, and you're really true to the vision. So I really appreciate what you guys are doing for the space. And seriously, I'm so humbled that you guys came on my podcast to talk to me about this. It's really, really fabulous, and I'm looking forward to, reading more articles and supporting the publication, and hopefully being able to contribute something of value to it as well.
Yeah, we are really happy that you wanted to have us on, and also we are thankful for what you are doing for the space as well. You are like this super cool and honest pleb voice that produces content just because you have a heart and a mind that burns for Bitcoin, and that's super legit, and that's something we respect a lot.
Yeah, and we really appreciate the support, and I think like it's super important for people in projects that work in Bitcoin and are about Bitcoin to support each other. And for example, I think like the same as for your podcast and for the Citadel21, it's like the support of people is really very important, because that basically what gives us eyes and what can like attract more people into the project where they can find something valuable, as you say.
I totally agree, and thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you too.
Thanks, man. See you around.
All right, we'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed my chat with Katoshi and Hodlonaut about Citadel21. I totally love the project, and I am actually really looking forward to some of the more like kind of printed materials that they're going to do in the swag. I'm such a sucker for swag. Anyways, link to their Twitter contacts will be in the show notes, as well as the link to Citadel21. And of course, as always, if you want to reach me by email, I am coinicarus@funwithbitcoin.com. And of course, on Telegram or Twitter, I am @coinicarus. Thank you all for listening. Catch you all next time.